Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Amir Arif bin Safarwan. My matrix number is CF210270. Today, I want to present about introduction. Bus arrival frequency at checkpoint is crucial for students to plan their routes, anticipate wait times, and make connection. Bus frequency is influenced by a number of variables, including route schedule, demand, operational issue, time of day of the week, and location. Bus company and transportation agency consistently predictable provide timetable. Student can plan execution, cut down on the waiting time, and schedule transfer with other bus routes or mode of transportation. By being aware of the bus arrival frequency, public transport network are more effective and convenient when bus arrive on time. They disseminate this information using several venues, including website, online platform, mobile apps, and bus stop. Students may make well-informed selection thanks to access to real-time information. And also on the right side is our My UTHM apps that show the time tracking for our bus arrival time. So on the lower side is our case study area, which is start with Tun Fatima as point A, and with FCAP, Civil Engineering Faculty. In our observation, the results show a more accurate time compared the arrival time in the My UTHM application. So that's all for my parts.
Okay, next one is methodology. The data that has been collected will be set in a table. We record the data around 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. for day 1 and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. for day 2 and Dr. Ismail bus 2. The mean variance estimation of the speed will be calculated from the tabulated data. Furthermore, we use Excel to compute the tabulated data, such as with ANOVA tables. Okay, besides the methodology, there is flowchart of our project. we start with identify the variable and time interval. And the second one, we collect the data at Dr. Ismail. We collect the data manually and using the table. After that, we present the data, the outcome of the data that we collect. And at the other hand, then we calculate the mean variance and standard deviation of the data. And lastly, we analyze the data.
Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nikna Shafia binti Nik Mama Rusdi and my matric number is AF210067. For the table shown that our collected data of bus moving from station to station. For our data presentation, we took 2 days to collect our data. For both days, we got 8 data of time bus moving from first station, which is College Kedaman Tun Dr. Ismail, to second station, FCAP. From the data collected, we got the fastest time of bus arriving is 4 minutes and the longest time for bus to arrive is 8 minutes.
Thank you for the previous presenter for presents data presentation. So here I am. My name is Umi Hafsah binti Muhammad Zaini and my matrix number is CF220001 and I'm here to present about analysis and result presentation. So before we begin, you know that statistic we have 2 categories which are descriptive statistical and also inferential statistical. So the data that we are present, we are using discrete analysis. This is also known as a quantitative data, which means that the data that we present can be measured numerically or counted. So this is the day of us collecting the data to measure the time from from TDI to FCAP. So as you can see from the data, that present. TDI known as A, F cup known as B. Also time minutes, we also known as a frequency. X bar also known as means, and the most right, X minus X bar square, also known as variance. Next, we move to the calculation of the day one data, and X bar is a mean. Before that, I want to tell that this data is a ungrouped data. So, ungrouped data is a raw data that is not in the term of interval, and frequency distribution has been arranged in order. We need to find, in this ungrouped data, we need to find mean, mode, median, and also the quartile, and it is Uh, quite simple than group data. In term of their formula, it's very simple one. Okay, so for the mean, to find the mean is total of the frequency. You divide by the number of observations. So 47 you divide by 8, so you get the answer 5.875. And mood is a frequent data in the frequency, in the number of observation. And for the frequent number in the number of observation is 467. And for the median, we need to find in the middle of the data. So we, in this data, the frequency, we've got the even number, egg number. So we need to find in the middle one. So just divide by 2, 4 and 4. And this one is a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this one is the middle one. So 6 plus 6, you divide by 2, you've got 6. And for the derivative derivatives, I already state the example that I've shown. You've got 1.266 in position of the first and third quarter. Okay, this one, how to locate the quartile one. You know that we have egg number of observation, and we've got 4 and also the 4. And this one is the middle of the quartile one. So in the middle, we've got the number of 4 and 5. You need to divide by 2. And for the location of quartile 3, this one and 4, you need to locate the middle of the location of the quartile 3, and you've got 7 plus 7, and you need to divide by 2, and you've got 7. Um, for the quartile 2, we do not need to calculate because quartile 2 is a median. So after that, we need to find the inner and also the lower and upper inner fence. So for the quartile 1, we've got 0.75, and the quartile 3, 10.75. So lastly, we need to plot box and whiskers plot. That's why we need to identify which is quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. They are already stated. And we need to identify which one is the low and high of number. So when we want to find the low and high of value, we find in the number of observations. As we already number of observation, as we already arranged from descending to ascending, we found out that the minimum in the number of observation, which is descending, is 4, and the maximum number of observation is 8. So that's why I've put the low is 4 and high is 8. So for the outliers, why the value is 10.75? Because in the upper inner fence, the value is greater than the maximum high number of observations. So that's why I choose 10.75 to put in the outliers. And we can plot it. So for a low is 4, and the outliers is 10.75. So now we move to the day 2 data. Uh, we've already stated the station from A to B, to Dr. Ismail to the F cup, and already state the time minutes, the difference time taken the bus to reach to the destination of the F cup, and we already stated in the time minutes, which means the frequency, and also um, I've already did the X bar. X bar means is a means, and deviations. Deviation is a deviation where we got deviations. X means of the value. We need to minus to the X. Sorry, time minutes X. We need to minus to the X bar square, and so we got the answer, and we've got the all answer. We need to add all. We need to sum up, and we've got the answer 5.714. So this is how you calculate the day 2 of the data. As usual, we need to count the mean, mode, median, quartile, and to calculate the mean, as usual, you need to know the total of the frequency and you divide by the n, and you've got the answer 6.429. And for the mode, you need to check the frequent numbers in the n, number of observation, and the frequent numbers is 6. And for the median, as usual, you need to arrange from descending to ascending to know the number of the median. And for this data, day 2, we've got the odd numbers, so it's easier for us to find the median, because the median placed in the middle of the number of observation if you arrange from the descending to ascending. For the variance, as usual, average of the square difference from the mean. X, you need to minus with the X bar. I've already attached the one-off example from the data, and 6 minus with the 6.429, got the square, and we've got the answer 1.266. And position of the first and third quartile. Quartile 1 is 6 because we've got the odd numbers. For the number of observation, we've got the odd, and this one is the middle one, so we've got the median. And for the quartile 3, for the quartile 1, you need to check the middle of this 3. And for the another 3, for the quartile 3, so you've checked the middle of this, you've got 7. And as usual, we need to know the upper inner fence and also the lower inner fence to determine the outliers, to plot, to make a graph of the box and plot whiskers. So here's the horizontal box and whisker. As usual, we need to know the quartile 1, 2, and 3, and we've already got the answer. And we need to determine which one is the minimum number and also the maximum number. That value we've got from the number of observations. And why we choose 8.5 for the outliers, because in upper inner fence, quartile 3, we've got the value 8.5, right? So 8.5 is higher than a maximum number of observation, which is 8. So that's why we take 8.5 and make it as outliers. So we move on to the differential statistics, F distributions. And as you can see, I've already combined day 1 and day 2 under the frequency, and I already state the value of the mean 1, mean 2, deviation 1, deviation square 1, and deviation square 2, and also the variance 1 and variance 2. For this chapter, we need to identify which one is a numerator and which one is denominator. we need to see at the deviations between the deviation x1, deviation 1 and deviation 2. Deviation 1 seems likely have a higher value than a deviation 2, which is the number is 5.714. Compare with the deviation 1, 14.875. So we take deviation 1, 14.875 as a numerator and 5.714 as a denominator. After we identifying the numerator and also the denominator, so that we can find the value of the variance 1 and also the variance 2. And variance 1, I've got the answer of 2.125, and variance 2 in the denominator, I've got the answer of 0.952. And that answer I follow by the formula that was given, and I also state in that pages in this present. And after that, for the F is test statistic. You need to divide between the variance 1 and also the variance 2, and we've got the answer 2.23. And for the null and alternative hypothesis, I need to identify which one is the hash null and which one is the hash alternative. And the significance level I already given, I already chosen that 0.05 is the significance level. And after that, I need to identify the degrees of freedom of numerator, known as a V1, n minus 1, and of the number observation of the day 1, you've got 8, and you need to minus 1, and the answer you've got 7. And the degrees of the freedom or in the denominator is 7 minus 1. 7, I've got the 7 is a number of observation in the day 2, we can find in the data, and we've got the answer 6. After that, we need to plot the graph, and as I already stated, the significance level is 0.05, and this is a 2 tails, and you need to divide by 2, and you've got the answer 0.025, and you put in the left and also the right. From that, you can find the value of the F, of the critical F. And where you want to find it, you need to find in the table distribution. F distribution, and from the table you need to know which one is numerator at the above and also denominator at the left, and you've got the answer 4.21. So from the graph given, it states that do not reject hash none since it located at the confidence interval regions. So because the critical F that we find in the table distribution, F distribution, is greater than calculated F. We've got calculated F, we've got the value of 2.23. So critical F is greater than calculated, so that's why we do not reject hash none. Next, we move to the result presentations. Already stated in the descriptive analysis for the value day 1 and also the day 2. Mean in the day 1, I've got the value 5.875, while in the day 2, 6.429. For the mode, 467, and for the day 2, 6. Median for the day 1, 6, and day 2, 6. Standard deviation in the day 1, 1.46, and day 2, 0.98. And lastly is variance in the day 1, 2.125, and day 2, 0.952. That's all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sajah Nusratul Adawiyah binti Mu'tarudin. My metric number is CF220022. I will present about discussion for this project. Our aim to determine the frequency of bus arrival between the Tun Dr. Ismail Resident College and the Faculty of Civil Engineering FCAP. The studies combine statistical method including descriptive statistic estimation, ANOVA and hypothesis testing to analyze the data collected. We have conducted 2 days of observation to collect raw data manually by recording bus arrival time. By implementing this statistical technique, the projects aim to provide insight into the reliability and efficiency of bus service for specific route. For our conclusion in this project is, this project successfully used statistical method to analyze and compare the frequency of bus arrivals. The finding and emphasize the importance of considering multiple factors when evaluating the reliability and efficiency of bus service. The application of statistical techniques help in evaluating the validity of hypotheses and drawing meaningful conclusions for data analysis. That's all. Thank you.